Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of The Left Wing. I am TJ Whitehead, powers taken, not given, joined as always by the most punctual man in America, John Cooper from Counterpoint Politics. How are you doing today, my friend?
I am doing great, and I can't wait to address this comment section that we already have, because I cannot tell if this guy's trolling. You don't know this, TJ, but I'm in hot water on Threads right now. A lot of people are calling me racist because I
Again,
dare
John,
to criticize
Jesus Christ.
their leader, Kamala Harris. I know. I know we've discussed this before, but it's so disingenuous whenever you criticize Kamala Harris and the immediate reaction you're going to get is, you're going to sit here and criticize a black woman? And I'm like, yeah, being a black woman doesn't mean you are above criticism for attending the Met Gala when you just got your ass beat by Donald Trump and everything we're living in is your fault. But you know what? Go ahead and do what you want to do. I'm sure that's a good look. I'm sure people will love it.
What is up with that? I haven't made any comment. Well, the person is trolling. Do you look at the username? So I'll go ahead and pull it up right here. The person
I did look at it, but here's the funny thing. I don't know who it is.
Oh, my guess.
It's like I did post, I was like, yo, everyone come here and watch. So if anyone's watching right now from my post, but I'm very confused as to who this person is, who isn't a regular viewer of the show, but decided to come on to leave this comment. So I appreciate it. I've never given a woman an orgasm. Really difficult name that your parents gave you, but yeah, we'll work with it.
It says an organism, which makes it even funnier.
Oh, I've never given a woman an organism.
Yeah. So, it says Kamala ran an impeccable all caps campaign and did nothing wrong. Her loss is your fault. You and this podcast, in quotes. Also, you're a bot, a racist Russian bot, unfollowed. My guess is this is the Scottsburger / George Soros guy. I don't know what his actual name is, but I know he changes his username from time to time. But I see it confuse Zeke for a little bit. And then he's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Cool name. And says, oh, so that's why this comment came out of nowhere. Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it at first, but yeah, hey, I enjoy it. So yeah, the Met Gala thing, I haven't read too much about it, but I did see a picture of Kamala Harris at the Met Gala. And my first thought was, why would you do this? In fact, I had the same thought when AOC went to the Met Gala. And I said, ooh, I don't know, especially these days, why you would do something like that. You don't have to, at all. Is it that important to go? I don't know. It's just like a French Revolution. When we're facing French Revolution era levels of wealth inequality, I just ostentatious displays of opulence don't go over very well. Certainly not with the people that you want to vote for you.
Yeah, it's very strange. And again, who knows what corner of the internet I'm on at any given moment. But to me, the Met Gala has always been just like a boisterously lavish symbol for the wealthy liberal elites that want to do a bunch of, tax avoidance and call it charity. Mm-hmm. But it's weird how people defend it. Like, they generally fall for the charity thing, I think. Which is fine. With AOC, I didn't really care about it because at least she made a statement. Like, at least she tried to make a statement, and B, she is from New York. Like, yeah, the tax the rich dress, and she's from New York. Like, it's within her own constituency. I get showing up at a big New York event when you are representing the area that it's hosted in. So, I get that. For AOC, I'm still totally open to criticisms of her appearance there. For Kamala, it just seems like a random again, if I...
Oh, no. Man, John's connection was kind of rough there, too. So I don't know what happened. But, wow, folks, I have no idea how to do the show by myself. Otherwise, I'd do more single stuff. But if you guys got any questions, go ahead and let us know. Or me, I guess. Kamala was there. Yeah. So I don't know if you saw, well, apparently you didn't see it, Zeke, but I just saw the picture. There was a picture of her. She was in this black and white dress at the event, but yeah, I don't know too much about it. So yeah, when AOC went, I remember her dress, not her dress, but her plate. I forget how much the Met Gala costs, like several $1,000s a plate or whatever, but her seat was donated or something. Oh, John's back. All right. There he is. All right, cool.
I am back. Yes. I was saying, if I was Kamala, first of all, I would never show my face in public again. I've said this about Hillary. I would take whatever money I have and move to a small island where I could live in a tropical paradise for the rest of my life and never meet anyone who knew that I lost a presidential campaign to one Donald J. Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It is so. This is the post, TJ, that caused a kerfuffle today on my threads. And I will share it here. And audience, please let me know if you guys think that I'm in the wrong here. I definitely want to hear about it because I'm not perfect. I could be wrong. I don't think this is the case here. And I actually don't even think I was rage baiting here because I can totally understand that accusation. But I didn't think this would get as much pushback as it did. I knew it would piss some people off, but I said, I really need these Democrats to feel more shame for what they did to this country. I would certainly not be showing my face at glamorous rich people parties just 7 months after losing to Donald Trump. Hell, if liberals were being serious about winning, they'd be making every member of the Biden-Harris campaign a social pariah, not inviting them to the Met Gala. Am I being too mean there, TJ? Am I being off in some sort of way? Am I being uncharitable to Kamala Harris here?
Can you enlarge the picture a little bit so I can reread it? I remember so I can see a little bit. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. There we go. I really need these Democrats to feel more shame. Yeah, they're feeling more shame. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the disappearing altogether and everything, but you could still do something. But yeah, going to these events though, I think is kind of it puts a bad taste in your mouth given the fact that the economy is collapsing. I don't know. Did she make a statement about it at all? Did she say why she was there or anything from what you know?
I didn't really I didn't read anything about it. I saw this picture. This is not the Met Gala is not necessarily a pet interest of mine. So I just saw this picture from the Democrats. This is the Democrats account that posted it, and I was just like, this is in bad taste. Like, this is just in bad taste. Good outfit. I know we like to judge outfits on this show. We're secretly a fashion show. I think she nailed the look. Totally fine with the outfit in my mind. But yeah, just the going to an opulent event when the economy is crashing as a result of your own actions and inability to defeat the guy who was telling us all that he was going to crash the economy. I don't understand how anyone thinks that's a good look. Like, these people need more shame. They should feel ashamed of their epic, massive failure that fucked all of us over. And they don't. And it is a problem. Tim Walz is the only one who I've seen taking any accountability for the failure, and he is the least accountable person you could possibly imagine. And it's very annoying how many people are just okay with the Democrats not taking any sort of culpability for the situation that we're in.
I wouldn't even put the bar that high because you're right. I did hear Tim Walz say something like, "Hey, listen, we made mistakes X, Y, and Z. We could have done this better and everything, and that's on us." And which you rarely hear from politicians of either side. You rarely hear that. So I do agree that would be refreshing. But I think, once again, to me, this just doesn't seem like good politics. Like, if you're gonna use this opportunity, this event to make some sort of statement, or you have a plan involved, maybe she does. I don't know. I've only seen a picture. Maybe there's more to it, but I don't like giving right wingers like ammo on this because they will take anything. Bernie Sanders wore a $400 jacket once. It was a down jacket in the freezing cold. And I saw several articles. Wow, this guy, he's a socialist and he has clothes. Can you believe this? Or I don't see why you would do something like this when you know people are looking for any possible reason to try to discredit you. It just seems like bad politics, unless there's something I don't know. I'm more than willing to admit or to concede that there's a point here if there was one, but just showing up because you think it's cool, I don't know. Just not something I would
here's
do.
The thing, like, if she'd been out there, like fighting, like she was going on her own fight oligarchy tour, whatever, I could give her the benefit of the doubt for showing up to this thing. Because people are like, oh, let her live her life. She's a private citizen. And I'm like, I'm also a private citizen, motherfucker. I've always been a private citizen, and I'm pretty darn sure I have put more effort into fighting against Trump's propaganda than Kamala Harris has up to this point ever since the election. And I don't know. when you tell people that Donald Trump is a threat to our nation, a threat to our democracy, a statement that I agree with.
Yeah.
And then you go into hiding, and then you go to Met Gala parties as if everything is normal right now. It doesn't send the message that you believed the words you were saying when you called Donald Trump a threat to democracy. And that dilutes the message moving forward. And I don't understand why people don't get that, TJ. It seems pretty obvious to me. And I think part of it is they genuinely don't believe the message either. I think there are a lot of Democrats who think that Donald Trump is just another Republican president. I don't think they actually believe that he's a fascist existential threat to democracy, because I think, like a lot of the Republicans, they also don't know what those words mean.
I don't know. I think that deep down the the Democrats definitely see Trump as different, if only for the fact that you ever notice that the Republicans who speak out against Trump, like, you can find Republican politicians speaking out against Trump, like, without a lot of issue, as long as they're retired or termed out. Then they have no problem talking about them. And they try to use this. In fact, Harris and Walz tried to use this too, where you had, Dick Cheney and like all these, but they brought up the fact that George W. Bush, like, no Republican president has endorsed this guy. Bush did play his cards right here. Because I remember people saying, why won't George W. Bush denounce Donald Trump or something? It's like, well, he probably still wants to maintain some sort of leverage in the Republican Party, and he didn't denounce Trump, and Trump won. So George Bush outsmarted everyone once again. But yeah, I don't know. I think that they probably do think Trump is a bigger than average threat, but they think he's a threat that they can defeat. I like the Schumer plan here. They said that these 2 years are going to be so awful that they're going to come crawling back to us. I think that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, like they see Donald Trump as a worse version of a standard Republican president.
Yeah.
When they were calling, my point here is when they were calling him a fascist, they meant it in the same way as when Republicans called Biden a communist. Like, they weren't actually thinking or even understanding what the threat was. And I think they're still treating it that way, or else you would be wanting to jettison all of party leadership. You would not be standing by them. It's a fucking disgrace that there has been 0 party leadership changes, with the exception of Joe Biden riding off into the sunset because he's so fucking old, which was like just what that was going to happen either way, whether he won or not, whether Kamala won or not. But like, I don't really know how much credit I can give that. And no one else has stepped up to take his place, by the way. It's not like someone stepped in and said, or at least been crowned a leader of the party that is on Biden's level. So it just sort of pushed everyone else up a little.
There was one leadership change. The guy that was at like the committee that AOC was supposed to get, but the 74-year-old guy, he stepped down the other day. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, Gary Connolly.
Gary Connolly, thank you.
Yeah, they wanted to replace him with an 84-year-old I saw or something.
Oh no. All right. So I wanted to the comments here. Mark asked, what would you have worn to the event, TJ? Mark, I don't know about, like top and bottom, like a pants and suit and everything, but on my face, I would have worn your mom. Okay. And then Mark says Kamala is going to run for governor of California. Isn't she? I heard that. I don't know if I've heard that from her, but I've heard a lot of people saying that she might. But so,
yeah, I mean there's no, I don't think there's any like official sources on that one. It just seems like the obvious next step, because like she can't just run straight. You can't just run straight for president after losing. I mean, you can. You're allowed to. It just seems strategically inept, which...
Well, she would lose the primary. So, I mean, she knows it. She knows she would lose the primary.
You have to, it's like the governorship of California is like the Nick Saban assistant coach of politics. It's like, if you fail as a head coach, you go and you become a governor in a state that likes you.
Yeah.
And you rebuild your resume so someone will hire you as a head coach again. That's what she needs to do. She needs to rebuild her resume and go at it in the 2030s at some point.
I don't know. All right. So, oh man, we've had a lot of comments here. Do we have any questions we should be getting to? Let's see.
We got a couple here. Brendan P. Why go to Met Gala in the first place? She could have asked that the money be donated to a cause. Much easier win for her. There you go. Exactly. Why go? Why put this image out there of yourself at this expensive rich people gala? It makes no sense to me. And by the way, TJ, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Sure.
I'm disappointed. And again, like I say this with knowing how silly of a statement it is, but I genuinely am disappointed in the celebrity sphere in general right now for no one seemingly taking any large stands against Donald Trump. Like I don't see it nearly as much as I did during the first term, and things are way worse. And that is a disappointment to me. I mean, obviously we have our guys that are Democrats and outward Democrats, but like I don't see any like major celebrities ringing the alarm bells here. And I'm actually surprised by that. Like it's been long enough now. I would have thought we would have had some critical mass of popular support for more than Standard Resistance.
I don't think I'm all that surprised, and only because that's been the reaction from basically everyone. We've talked about it before that after this time Trump was elected, the response was a lot more tempered. It was just morose. It seemed people, and I have been disappointed in celebrities who spoke out against Trump earlier, but are now seem to be on his side, or not necessarily on his side, but not, however, like Snoop Dogg is the one I'm thinking of, who talked shit about Trump for years. And then when Trump was running or elected, like, all right, cool, I'm with this guy now. I think that they looked at the metrics and said, wow, he's actually gaining in popularity with younger folks, and maybe I don't want to turn them off. And I don't know, like I think it'd be a mix of that they saw that Trump isn't as amazingly as despised as he was years ago by certain groups of the population, and that what's the point really? I'm going to be mad for 4 years and just yell and scream. I don't know, maybe that's it, but it is. I'm not quite shocked. I'm not really shocked, because that seems to be what I see everywhere now.
Yeah, no, that again, it's like I understand. I'm expecting a lot of people who I shouldn't expect anything from. I am genuinely surprised there haven't been at least a couple taking up the mantle to this point. Maybe
Bill Burr is the only one.
What was that?
Bill Burr is like the only one I can.
You're right. Bill Burr is the most shining example of a celebrity leader right now.
Yeah,
and it's condemnable. It's very off-putting. Huge Ass says, I appreciate you, John. I mostly agree with the take, and I think liberals in the comments are getting dangerously close to idolizing their politicians. I wouldn't say it's dangerously close. I said it's exactly what the fuck they're doing. Forget any of the other things here. Just wanting to like see a politician at the Met Gala, like explain to me how that's any different than celebrity worship. Like explain to me why they're there. I don't get it.
Yeah. If someone could tell me, because like I don't know everything, obviously. So if someone could tell me what the goal was here, because you can say, hey, this person is a private citizen, they can do whatever they want. No one's arguing that. No one's saying you should be thrown in jail.
I'm not preventing you from doing anything. I don't have that power.
That's not the point here. Is that you are a private citizen, but you're also a lot more. You're a symbol to people, and if you're a politician, you want to be fighting to be pushing forward some goals. And if you're going to make a public appearance at a pretty controversial event for the demographic that you represent, I think an explanation isn't crazy. People say, oh, well, why you want to do that? Now, if it is your goal to say, I'm going to get my name out, people will see this picture, they'll see who I am, they'll see him at this event. And if you think that will raise your popularity, fine. I question the legitimacy of that. But John, I agree with you when you said there's no maybe about it with this celebrity worship thing when it comes to politicians, idolizing politicians. And this goes way back. Like we talk about the weird, nothing's reached the level of Donald Trump on the Democratic side of their obeisance and their, idolizing of Donald Trump. But I remember when Bill Clinton was president, people like loved Bill Clinton. Like Democrats loved him. They defended him. And the guy was obviously a sexual predator. Everyone knows this. It took a long time for Democrats to say, well, actually, Bill Clinton's a bad guy. It took decades for that to happen. Yeah. And they do this too. So, John, you've seen the Trump.
Actually, I mean, in general, they don't, though. Like, in general, Democrats still have a very high opinion of Bill Clinton. They still wheeled him out for the fucking Harris campaign.
Yeah. I guess maybe it's just the ones I know. That's true. Yeah, but in popular society, he probably is still up there.
Andrew
But
Cuomo was going to win the fucking governor of New York, TJ.
oh, Andrew, I didn't hear about that.
Or not governor. I'm sorry, mayor of New York City. My bad.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, I didn't hear that either. But so what I was thinking this the other day, John. So you have the Trump 2028 hats going around, and the common response that you get from liberals is, yeah, let Trump try to run in 2028 just so we can get his ass kicked by Barack Obama in 2028. What makes you guys think that? Given the political climate right now, do you think 4 years or 3 years from now, there's going to be this upswell of massive support for Barack Obama based on what you see every single day? And think about it. Someone who's 30 years old in 2028 would have been what, 14 when Barack Obama left office or something like that's, or 16. Yeah, I mean, I can't math, but it's like they barely remember Barack Obama. Okay, a lot of adults don't have the same love and affection for this guy, and the political climate is so radically different right now. I don't know why you would think that's an obvious win for us.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I see the argument of, oh, Obama would like rhetorically rip the shit out of Trump, and it's like, why would Trump debate him? Why would he even bother? Like he ducked the fucking second Kamala debate, and that didn't hurt him. So like, why would he even get on a debate stage? Why even exercise this idea that it might be okay for him to run again? Like that just needs to be a hard line. And also, I don't think Obama would want to fucking run. Like I don't think Obama would want to be president again. If he did, he would be more active. Like he just isn't. He's another one where I'm surprised. I am also surprised Obama doesn't do more. Like, why isn't Obama out on a tour right now with Bernie and AOC? Like, why? And I totally I have all the support for Obama riding off into the sunset on for the first Trump term. Like, wasn't anything to call him back. He had just been president for 8 years, hardest job in the world. Absolutely no problem with that. It does seem weird that right now, if I had dedicated the amount of my life, the amount of stress and time and energy ostensibly to improving the United States of America as its president, and I saw what Trump was doing to it now, I feel like I would feel a responsibility to get the fuck back.
Yeah,
I'm not the president. I cannot possibly speak to that experience. It just does seem odd to me, TJ.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe he thought, wow, I put all that work into it last year for the election and didn't work at all. Maybe it's not worth it. So I don't know. Who knows? I just Zeke says Kyle Kalinske did a react of CNN doing a poll. I saw this video, and from the results, people still gave Trump the lead instead of Kamala, and Democrats still fall behind in the polls. Yeah, the poll that they pulled out said who would be doing a better job for the economy. If you could vote now, who would it be? And it was Trump 45, Kamala 43. So yeah, I just I know even after everything, look, I'm getting to a pretty dark place here with politics. Like I'm having some awful thoughts these days that I don't know who my countrymen are anymore. I don't. I have spent 4 decades wildly overestimating their intelligence. Maybe not. Well, yes, that definitely estimating their intelligence, their critical thinking, and trying to decipher exactly what they want out of politicians. Because I assumed that people wanted good policy out of politicians. I don't think I know now that's not how they vote, but I thought they at least wanted it, but they don't really seem to care. And that's kind of, it's dark. It's pretty sad, John. It's pretty sad.
It is very sad.
It's sad.
I mean, it's impossible to maintain relationships with people who continue to support this in their life.
It is. It is.
I don't know how to speak with them. It doesn't compute. None of it computes. Like if you are looking at this and you're like, Donald Trump is better for the economy, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Donald Trump can't explain why Donald Trump is better for the economy. Why the fuck do you believe? He doesn't even fucking try to. You're just assuming he is based on the opposite of nothing, considering how much evidence there is to the contrary.
Yeah, yeah. It's just really sad, depressing. I like that you that they all say, well, Donald Trump's going to be great for the economy. He's going to go for the economy. Donald Trump can't explain to you at all what the tariff thing is driving me insane. That no one has still pinned him down and asked him to define what a tariff is, how it's worked, how the tariff is collected. He won't do it. I titled this episode about how insane Trump is because I'm not joking. The guy seems to be losing it more and more every single day. Like the stuff that he's saying is like Trump was always kind of, batty and everything. But like now you're like, wow, I can't imagine 2017 Trump saying some of the shit he's saying these days. And I first saw it. Oh, that's too small to read. Anyway, this says rebuild and open Alcatraz. For too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders, the dregs of society, who will never contribute anything other than misery and suffering. When we were a more serious nation in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals and keep them far away from anyone they could harm. That's the way it's supposed to be. No longer will we tolerate these serial offenders who spread filth, bloodshed, and mayhem in our streets. That is why today I am directing the Bureau of Prisons, together with the Department of Justice, FBI, and Homeland Security, to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. We will no longer be held hostage to criminals, thugs, and judges, yikes, that are afraid to do their job and allow us to remove criminals who came into our country illegally. The reopening of Alcatraz will serve as a symbol of law, order, and justice. We will make America great again. I just realized that he said we're not going to be held hostage to people who are committing crimes and came here illegally. I thought we were deporting them. Why are we sending them to Alcatraz? But yeah, did you see that, John?
Yeah, I mean the thing.
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about it. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't think this will happen. I genuinely believe. I saw this. And I don't know, you obviously can't know if it's true, but I did see that Escape from Alcatraz, the movie, the Clint Eastwood movie, was playing in like the Mar-a-Lago area the night before he posted that. Mm-hmm. And like there is a very, very non-zero chance that Donald Trump saw the movie and was like, why don't we reopen Alcatraz? And then he's like, guys, make it happen. And he's going to forget about this happening in about 2 weeks max, because as you said, his mental decline is staggering. And I say this was not something I was as worried about during the election as I really should have been. Mm-hmm. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Like you're starting to see it more and more and more and more. I mean, we talked about this last week, but him genuinely believing that the Microsoft fucking font overlaid on Kilmar Brega Garcia's fingers was a real tattoo is damning. It is so damning. Him continuing this like the doll thing. I don't know if you guys have seen how many times when asked about the economy, Trump has said something along the lines of, oh, well, these girls, they have like 20, 30 dolls. They can get by with 3 to 4 dolls. We don't need as many dolls. And it's like, it actually does genuinely remind me of older people I've known in my life that have gone through significant mental decline and just only being able to pull 3 to 4 anecdotes that are wildly inaccurate with current reality. And I could not help but noticing that with the doll thing, him repeating this over and over again. He's done the same thing with groceries, pretending that groceries isn't a word that people use. Like, he keeps doing this, and it's like, it has always been underreported by the media, his mental state, because this was very much discussed during the campaign trail, where it's like, unfortunately for Biden, he's the kind of old person that just can't get words out when he gets old, and Trump is the kind of old person who gets too many random words out when he gets old, and that's kind of always how he's spoken, so it's not as noticeable of a decline. But I'm starting to notice more and more weird shit coming out at a more consistent basis. And I don't know, it's something the media should probably be fucking reporting on with the same exact veracity they did Joe Biden. And I will 100% stand by the people who call out the media on this one, because they're not doing it. And I don't understand why.
For those of you wondering what John was discussing here, this is one of the many clips out there of Donald Trump talking about this. That's the thing with this too. It's not like he said this once and then thought, "Oh, that was kind of a weird thing to say. That maybe your daughter should only have 2 dolls." Yeah, or essentially, your daughter is going to have 2 dolls that are going to cost as much as $30. Is basically what he's saying. It's kind of a weird way to go, but he keeps sticking with it.
This week got a lot of attention. You were at your cabinet meeting. You said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said, maybe the children will have 2 dolls instead of $30.
Yeah.
And maybe the 2 dolls will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. Are you saying that your tariffs will cause some prices to go up?
No, I think the tariffs are going to be great for us because it's going to make us rich.
But you said some dolls are going to cost more. Isn't that an acknowledgement that some prices will go up?
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have 30 dolls. I think they can have 3 dolls or 4 dolls because what we were doing with China was just unbelievable. We had a trade deficit of hundreds of billions of dollars with China.
When you say they could have 3 dolls instead of $30, are you saying Americans could see empty store shelves?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they don't need to have 30 dolls. They can have 3. They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5.
That last part with the pencils, I find to be the funniest one. Because when I heard the doll, my first thought was making a comment that this sounds like it comes from a guy who never actually bought toys for his kids and doesn't know how many toys your kid has. Like most kids don't have 30 dolls, right? That's not how it works. But it's like, well, it's a banana. How much could it cost? $10 type of thing. But when he said the pencils, like, okay, yeah, he doesn't know how many objects a person has. Like, oh, your average 6th grader, they have what, 250, 400 pencils? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they can make do with 5, like a normal amount of pencils a kid would have. But yeah, so what I like best about this, the only good thing that I have had, well, good is a strong term, but the only enjoyable thing about this, about having an insane man as president, is the fact that this insane man is the leader of the largest cults in the United States right now. And people, part of the cult, thank you, Chris. Chris saying they can have 1 house instead of 5. Actually, that's funny. That's true.
Trump probably thinks for the house.
Yeah, that's true.
We appreciate that, Chris.
someone should ask him that. Like, what about Americans who own 10 houses? Well, they can have 4 houses instead of 10. Like, someone should try to trap him on that. But what's been the best thing about this is people are being forced to defend everything Trump says, and they will, because he's their God emperor. And I don't know did you see this clip of one of the newscasters on CNN talking about the doll thing and how she agreed with it?
I'm not recognizing it immediately. So
okay. All right. It's great.
All right. You know what? This is making me think a lot about.
Can you hear that?
The fact that every rich
John?
person I know.
I can't hear it either. Okay, well, I'll try to
hear it. It's just quiet.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all. So anyway, but I'll try to find another one. But yeah, go ahead, take it away. I'll find another clip.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say about the at least the previous clip you played, and I've said this on the show, I think last week, maybe the week before, but like, can we ask Trump follow-up questions? Like, why does every interview with Trump, why does every journalist act like they're talking to a competent human being that deserves respect? I do not understand that. Their job should be to go and make him eat shit every single time they talk to him. I don't understand why they wouldn't do that, because you sit there, it's like he says about the dolls, and then she did ask a follow-up question like, does that mean there's going to be empty store shelves? And he goes, no, I just don't think girls should have this many dolls. And then the follow-up to that should then be, okay, so then how are the dolls relevant to your tariff policy? Can you explain that? And he can't do it. And I don't know why you're afraid of asking him questions that he's incapable of answering, because it'll make a viral moment for you. It will help fight this fucking fascist takeover of our country. And it's only good. What, you're not going to get another interview with him? He's going to run out of people to interview him. Like, I don't understand. I know these journalists, for the most part, see Trump the same way that I do. Like, the vast majority of journalists in media are left-leaning, and they definitely see Trump as the threat he is, because they are highly informed about what is going on. So why not? Why not just get together, and just decide that this is how we're going to treat him now. Doesn't make any sense. Not a single one of them has done it. Not a single one of them has treated him as a hostile interview. And I do not understand why. I don't know why they don't see themselves as mouthpieces of propaganda for treating him with little kid gloves.
Yeah, I don't understand either. We did talk about it the other day about how they value their access to power more than, I don't know, doing a good interview. Like you said, and that's a good point. It's an interview that would make them famous. It would bring traffic to your channel or to your outlet, where you don't move on from the weird thing that he says and just let him keep saying weird shit. Like what you could have done in the tattoo interview is that you could have said, okay, so are you telling me that you think the M, the S, the 1 of the 3 are literally tattooed on his hands? That question would have been it, because I mean, honestly, I don't think there is much plausible deniability for what Trump said, but just make him like say the dumb thing that he is saying, because he wants to say it. He's like Colonel Jessup in A Few Good Men. He can't wait to say the dumb shit. Yeah. And yeah, just kind of force him to. I don't know why.
Did you see how easily Kamala trapped him into the either eating the dogs and eating the cats?
Yes, exactly.
So easy to do. And she's not even some like master rhetorician here. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Chris also sent us $2 saying they can have 1 livable wage instead of 100 livable wages. That's also pretty funny, because that's what Trump has existed on his whole life. No, he's never had a wage, by the way. Just that's what he thinks is a normal fucking wage. By the way, if you guys ever want to get on, we always show when people give us money, and that's a great way to get
it is true.
On the channel.
Question will be
asked a good question here. Speaking of Trump going crazy, do you guys have a take on Trump saying he'd be gone if the election wasn't rigged? It's pretty obvious to me he's referring to 2020, but liberals insist that it was a grand confession. Yeah, I'm here with you, Hugh. Again, this is my take on the whole, was the 2024 election rigged? I don't even care if Donald Trump comes out and says verbatim, I rigged the 2024 election. Until I see some actual evidence of that being the case, I'm not going to believe it. Like, he's that far gone in my mind. If he thinks it makes him look good to say that, he will say that. So, like, it doesn't mean it's fucking true any more than foreign countries pay tariffs. Like, it's just a lie. Because the level of competence that it would have taken to actually rig the 2024 election is not something that Donald Trump is capable of. This is, again, the Four Seasons landscaping press conference guy. It's just not something him or his team could be doing. They send war plans over Signal. There's no way they would have kept that from leaking the entire election cycle. And during the post-election coverage, it just couldn't have happened. So, like, yeah, as much as I would love for that to be the case, until I see evidence that it was, it's difficult to assume that that's the case. And people will go like, oh, well, Elon used Starlink. And like, first of all, you don't know what the fuck that even means. And like you're just saying that. Second of all, Elon is not competent enough to do that either. So like, come on.
John, that was a good question, because I have seen so many posts and videos from people like I respect, like people who I thought, oh yeah, this person, but saying that they believe Elon Musk stole the election for Donald Trump. And the evidence they present is like what he mentioned, that Donald Trump said a couple of times. Well, the first thing they bring up is Joe Rogan. After the election, Joe Rogan told a story how he was in a room with Elon Musk the night of the election. And 2 hours before the election was called, Elon was looking at his phone and said, Trump's got it, and walked out the door. And then 2 hours later, the election was called for Trump. And Joe was like, well, how did he know that? And they took that as, aha, Elon did some sleight of hand and some trickery to mess with the vote count. Like, yeah, maybe that, or maybe he's the richest man in the world and has access to information before everybody else. Like maybe that's the case. I don't know. That seems a little more likely to me. And they mentioned, like Trump says, or Mike Johnson said something before, that we got a secret plan to win the election. Or Trump said the same story about Elon Musk, actually. Trump said the same thing Joe Rogan said, that he was sitting with Elon Musk and he said he's talking about Pennsylvania. And the data for Pennsylvania showed the Democrats up and the Republicans down. And Trump said, I said, look at that. They're cheating again. But Elon came over and says, don't worry, you got it. You're going to win this. And I did. And that's the evidence. That is the full extent of the evidence they have. And John's correct. They do say that we think that Elon used Starlink to hack the voting machines. Do you guys remember talking about this after the 2020 election? The voting machines are not connected to the internet. Have you guys forgotten this? Like, this is, which seems to be necessary if you're going to hack them from space. There's no evidence for it. And if you have it, show it to me. Because honestly, the 2020 election wasn't stolen. The Republicans tried presenting more evidence than you guys have. Just saying that a few conversations and the fact that you don't believe that many people voted for Trump, that's not enough. I know it might make you feel good that Kamala actually won and Trump stole it, but it is deep into conspiracy land, and I'll have none of that. I'm glad you're on the. I figured you would be.
And by the way, it's the most likely, even if Donald Trump himself came out and said, yeah, I rigged the election. Elon helped me do it using Starlink. My direct assumption, my first one would be Elon Musk told Donald Trump he rigged the election in order to gain favor with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump believed it unscrupulously because why wouldn't he? That is a far Occam's razor, this guys. That is a far more simplistic and reasonable explanation for why Donald Trump would say that than Donald Trump is a criminal mastermind who rigged the American presidential election. By the way, something which has never been done before, ever in the history of the United States. And you think Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the fucking geniuses to have done this? If that is the case, if they actually rigged it in 2024, every election has been rigged. We haven't had a real election because that just means it's ridiculously fucking easy. And every government in the world would be rigging the presidential election if Donald Trump and Elon Musk are capable of doing so.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is absolute insanity. And it's, whatever. All right. Chris says, TJ, he should have been asked which of your cabinet members support the claim of MS-13 on his fist. That would be a good question. That would be pretty good.
That's because you can then follow it up.
Yes.
You can then go and attack every cabinet member. You get an extra 24 hours of news cycle out of that.
Yep.
Again, I'm not a journalist. I've never been a journalist. I've only taken like 3 journalism classes. I'm not telling you how to do your job, but I want you to tell me why you're not doing it this way because it makes a lot of sense to me.
I saw Chuck Todd. He was on some podcast, and he said something like, I really wish that these folks would. It was what was it? The God's Pod Save America is what it's on. A name that
Pod Save America.
The name?
Have us on. Like just do it. I want to talk to you guys so bad. Because they are smart people who just frustrate me so much, TJ, because they know what they're doing and they just are so hard-headed about it.
I was gonna say a Pod Save America. I hate the name Pod Save America because it's a pun or a play on words, but the play on words is a phrase that doesn't exist. God Save America isn't something anybody says. God Bless America, people say. God Save the Queen, people say. But anyway, that bugs me. Anyway, Chuck Todd was on there and he said that I wish people would give Trump more rope to hang himself in these interviews. I said, yes, that's what we've been saying the whole time. And he said, if I were talking to Trump, I wish I would ask him, hey, how come you folded on January 6th? Really? That's the question you would ask? Who gives a fuck? I don't want to hear anybody talk about January 6th again. Everyone hung their hats on January 6th as this is going to be what tanks Donald Trump. This is going to be what scares everyone away from voting for him. This is going to bring so much shame and embarrassment to the Republicans for doubling down on this. Didn't change a fucking thing. Didn't change anything at all. So I don't know why he went with that, but in principle,
it might have, TJ, if they showed some urgency in trying him for it. But it didn't because they didn't.
That's going to go down as maybe the biggest mistake in American history, that they didn't turn the screws on Trump and said, well, we're going to put everything until after the election. Why? I mean, I don't know. That it's just it's kind of shitty. Okay, there's a clip here, I think, of this example. This is Representative Mark Pocan. He's talking to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and he wants to ask him who pays tariffs. This is I want to see a lot more of this, actually. Here we go. Hope it still plays. I don't know what happened to that other clip. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, perfect. This is it. Okay, make sure it's the right clip. Pipe down, Wolfie.
Who pays tariffs, Mr. Secretary? No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry. Well,
Who pays tariffs,
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary? Please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman?
The-
I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
He wants to answer other questions.
well, Congressman, if the exporters, they dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the
in
question? I'm not
US
sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
That it's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer it. I'm not going to waste my time having you go, Mr. Secretary, reclaiming.
All right, I would like to see a lot more of that. Like that's what I like the reporters to do. Although I didn't like his answer at the end, like his slam dunk. It's people pay tariffs. That's not specific enough. I just give the actual definition. The importer pays the tariff, right? They can pass it along if they so choose, and generally it can be paid by the consumers. But the actual answer is the importer pays the tariff. In no scenario does the exporting country pay the tariff. And that's all I want. I just want the reporter to do exactly what he did. Mr. President, who pays the tariffs? How do they pay it? Have you seen that, John?
I hadn't seen that, but no, I agree with you. I have notes on the execution, but the it's directionally correct. Like that is the way that we need to be treating these things. Give them as much rope as they can take and then immediately hang them with it. Don't let them go on a diatribe into some random other thing. Keep them focused on very simple questions like who pays tariffs? They can't answer it. And I love that you brought that up. Mark said this earlier. He said Trump is a great president because he appointed Scott Bessent, the guy we just heard from, to Treasury, highlighting a smart, serious gay Republican. He's single-handedly keeping the market above water. Mark, he can't answer who pays a fucking tariff. That's your smart, serious Republican. The man who cannot answer who pays a tariff, which, by the way, is the foundation of his entire economic. Like, again, this is why it's what we said earlier. It's difficult to have conversations with people about this anymore because what the fuck do you mean? You don't know who pays the tariff. It's complicated. No, it's not. There's only one person who pays the tariff, the importer of the good. That's the only fucking person. The complication, TJ, is that, you can make the argument they don't actually pay it because they pass it off to the person they sell it to. So they're not actually down the money. The end consumer is. That's a fine argument to be made, but it's still not that complicated because it's fucking Americans. The American people pay the fucking tariff. The importing country pays the fucking tariff, not the exporting country. This is just basic facts. This is not even, you can't even claim this is an opinion. It is just a statement of fact as simple as, does the sun rise in the east or the west?
Yes.
Like there's an answer. There's only one answer, and it's easily verifiable. It cannot be debated, and yet we're having this debate over the most important economic policy in America right now.
The tariff one is the easiest one for me, but it also causes me the most stress because I don't understand what is happening. Obviously, the Trump stuff is, he's insane with the tariffs and everything. But with the media's response to him about the tariffs, like we've many times on the show, we have said this. You will see reporters talking to Trump, and they'll say something to the effect of, most experts believe the cost of tariffs are passed to consumers. What are you doing? Well, what are you doing? This could be very simple and very direct. And John, exactly. Saying even going down the line with the whole, because that's what they usually do. They usually try to frame it as the customer.
Some experts are saying, no, you're fucking saying.
Yes.
Take your fucking balls out of your fucking napkin and put them on the table and say, I'm saying that's not how it fucking works, Mr. President. Explain to me why I'm wrong.
You know what you could do? Well, and actually this wouldn't work. Never mind. I was going to say, you could say, could you point us to an economist who says that the exporting country pays the tariffs? But I know Trump would say many economists are saying it'd be a waste of time, honestly. But they usually go with the route of the consumer ends up paying the tariffs. I don't I see what they're doing because ultimately the cost goes on to you, but that's not really true because let's say the importer raises the price and nobody buys it. Like that could happen, right? And then the importer pays the tariff. So just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. The importer pays the tariff. It is a tax on imported goods. There's nothing complicated about this, but you ask him every single time. And if Trump dodges this question, whatever, they need a pact amongst reporters. Reporters just need to keep asking the same question. If he's going to dodge it or just give a ridiculous answer, I'm going to ask it too. I want to ask that exact same question. He can only do this for so long.
Yeah, and by the way, Mark, are you saying I'm pulling one quote or you hanging out on a soundbite? Mark, I want you to answer this question very specifically. Do you think it's okay that the President of the United States genuinely believes that tariffs are paid by foreign countries? And if you don't think he genuinely believes that, why do you think it's okay for him to just blatantly lie about such the cornerstone of his entire economic policy? It's one or the other.
It's like,
Either he's the biggest idiot to ever be the president because he doesn't understand who pays a tariff, and he has made it the cornerstone of his policy, or he's blatantly lying to the American people about what his policy actually is on a scale that no politician has ever lied on ever before. That is a high fucking bar, but I can't think of a single example. Even fucking Iraq has WMDs. Like, you could at least stretch the definition of a WMD to like sort of kind of meet on the barest fucking skinniest, squintiest definition that Iraq had them. But no, there's no way to squint and say anyone but the importer pays the tariffs. It's right there. It's like right there. There's no one else is paying them. There's only one person.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just like, what are we doing here? Like, what is happening? Yeah. Which is better? Is that Trump doesn't know what a tariff is, or that he's lying? Because I think I'm actually on team he doesn't know. I'm solidly there. I really think he doesn't know how tariffs work. Just from hearing the way he talks about it, that these tariffs are going to make us rich. These tariffs are going to make everyone in the United States incredibly wealthy. All these nations are eating the tariffs. I was like, man, how does this happen? And then again, like, you know what? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I have no idea what's going on.
I used to think he was disingenuously lying. And I thought that was horrible. I now firmly believe that it was the Kilmar Brego Garcia clip, TJ. When he said MS-13, it was on his knuckles. That was the moment I was like, oh shit, he actually believes this. You can see it. You can hear it in his voice. He believes the words he's saying right now are the truth. He's not lying for political gain. This is terrifying. And I don't understand. I know there's a lot of Republicans who thought he was lying for political gain because they consciously made the choice to repeat the same lie, knowing it was a lie. You can point to really fucking any of them. You can point to fucking Benson there. Mark, I believe that Scott Benson is way smarter.
Yes.
I know that he knows that importer pays the tariffs. I don't think he doesn't think that. But he can't say it because Donald Trump doesn't believe it to be true. That's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem right there.
Yeah. And once again, God, I wish I had that CNN clip for you, because like watching Republicans defend this, because they have to now. They have to. They can't say that Trump is wrong or that he's lying or that he's wrecking the economy for no reason. Because look, I can envision a scenario in which you actually wreck the economy and there's a logical goal in sight, like, some pain for a little bit of gain. There's nobody who actually believes this. Like when you hear Trump describe that we're going to bring in, did you see him at the White House with Carney from Canada when he was talking about, we don't really, he's talking to the newly elected prime minister in Canada saying that we don't need Canadian cars. We don't need Canadian goods. We're going to buy your country. We want you to be the 51st state. We don't need your aluminum or your steel. We're going to make all of our aluminum here. It's like, wow, that is insane. Like, it is absolute insane shit. I can foresee a scenario in which there is a plan and it works, but Trump doesn't have one and no one can explain it to you, but they have to defend it. And it's wild.
That's the thing. he doesn't have one, and no one can even explain what it is. Mark says here, tariffs cause countries to act and behave differently. Trump sees tariffs as changing trade patterns and bringing jobs to the U.S. I don't buy it, but Trump sees this.
Didn't answer the question, Mark. Mark, you did not answer the question.
You did not answer the question. I asked, it's not about whether it's a good policy or not. The question is, do you think Donald Trump believes that importers do not pay tariffs?
Yeah, well,
that's it. And if you think he does, how are you okay with him not understanding a basic definitional component of his trade policy? Or do you think he doesn't believe that? How are you okay with him blatantly lying about a basic definitional component of his trade policy? I'm not asking if you think it's correct.
Yeah.
You're allowed to not think it's correct and still support him. Sure. It's kind of weird, but like, sure, go ahead.
I am curious to get Mark's answer, though, but I know he deflected, but he did give some good information. Scott Bessett had a nice editorial in the Wall Street Journal today. You should read it. Thanks, Mark.
Mark's always asking me to read the Wall Street Journal.
Thanks.
I don't subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. I can't read articles I'm not subscribed to. So if you want to screenshot it and send it to our email, leftwingpod@gmail.com, for anyone who wants to ask a reader mailbag question for this show, send it there and I'll fucking read it, because I would be interested in reading what his fucking Wall Street Journal article said, because I don't know what the fucking explanation for any of this. I don't. It's just Looney Tunes, DJ.
John, the classic socialist asking to get shit for free. And that's of course he would be doing this like all the rest, John. But yeah, I am curious to know, Mark, if we can't get it by the end of the show, like next time, Mark will let us know. But I'll ask him next time he comments. Like, which one do you believe? Because I think it would be worse if he was lying and seeing this. No, actually, worse that he doesn't know.
Worse that he doesn't know. Lying.
Yeah, worse that he doesn't know. Because you expect politicians to lie, right? That's just part of the deal here. Yeah. How am I okay with Trump's ignorance? I think most people. I lump you and Trump together. Mark, answer the question, man.
This is not economics again.
Mark, answer the question, man.
It's not economics. It's who pays a tariff. This, first of all, we can again debate whether I understand economics or not. This isn't some complex economic question. It's basic definition. And if you think he doesn't understand it to that degree, why are you okay with? He clearly doesn't. He understands it less than fucking Kamala did. Clearly. If that's your definition of understanding economics, Kamala understood who paid a fucking tariff. So why do you think Trump is going to be better on the economy if he doesn't understand such a basic thing?
Whatever. All right. So,
it's like if I said, hey, how are the Eagles going to win a game this year? Oh, they're going to score more touchdowns. Oh, great. How are they going to score? What's a touchdown?
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. A touchdown is worth 4 points. They're like, what? What is going on? It's like, and if any Dem said you can have $3 instead of 30, they'd be blasted. So that, it's true. Yeah, like Trump does do this shit sometimes because what he says stuff that's really stupid. And this is something Republicans have been doing a lot, where they'll take something Trump said. In fact, if that CNN clip would play, the lady says is like, well, you should have $3 instead of 30. That's over consumerism. Haven't you guys been saying we should be less? No, that's not what's going on here. Stop trying to dodge that. I don't know. Trump is better because Bessett, I thought I said that he has his real. What does it matter if Bessett is there if he just says what? Whatever.
Again, like he doesn't understand what. Do you think the policy's coming from Bessett?
I guess. Yeah,
Bessett. He was talking about tariffs a year ago, and Bessett wasn't fucking there.
Yeah,
clearly Donald Trump's policy. He's the only one who has been pushing. This wasn't a Republican thing. This wasn't anyone else. This is clearly coming from Donald J. Trump. He's the one pushing these tariffs. It's not. And again. What's the explanation then for why the tariffs are going to be a good thing? Who's saying this? No economist. It's not people who understand economics. All of them say this is shit policy.
Yeah, and I do want to go back to the comment Mark said. How am I okay with Trump's ignorance? I think most people don't understand economics like us. I lump you and Trump together. We're not the president of the United States. I don't know why that matters, right? Yeah. Like if two jackasses sitting in front of their microphones and cameras don't know about economics, fine. don't vote for us to be president of the United States. But, Trump is president of the United States, knows less about economics than your average ninth grader. If he doesn't understand what a tariff is and how it works, he knows less than every high schooler in this country. So, yeah, I don't know.
Let's
okay. All right. Yeah.
At least
yeah.
we would have known in high school.
Yeah. The high schoolers who went to the private schools, they'll know better. So. All right. Who we got Thursday, John? Who do we got on Thursday?
We got Coach D.
Coach D, fantastic. It's going to be good.
That'll be a fun time. Again, if you guys have any reader mailbag questions, make sure to email them to theleftwingpod@gmail.com. This has been our Q&A show. Wonderful comments today, guys.
That's a good one right here.
Trump spark notes of a McKinley biography. No,
yeah.
He first of all, he had someone summarize the spark notes of a McKinley biography to him and barely paid attention.
Look, yeah. Yeah, it's all right. All right.
Oh, by the way, wait, before we end, we didn't say it, but did you catch the part where he said a baby girl of 11 years old?
There was another one. Where he says, maybe a little girl, like an 11-year-old girl, a 10-year-old girl, a 15-year-old girl doesn't need 30. He's like, does he think 15-year-old girls have a bunch of... I don't know. Weird dude. Weird fucking dude. But all right, we'll catch you guys on Thursday. See you later. Oh.